Hello, this is Leanne from the beautiful Pacific Northwest, and recently I did a tutorial on how to make this sweet little book. Now, the book itself comes from the dollar store, and I transformed it into this, and I thought, wouldn't this be great as a gift? And so what I did, I made this. It's a little accompaniment piece. I call it a tea wallet, and the inside it houses 4 tea bags. You can put more in it if you like. I think it'd be so cute to make this. Put a little note inside right there, so that when they open it up, they can see the little words from you, and give it with the notebook. Wouldn't that be sweet? Sitting down with the notebook and a little cup of tea. I like it. So I'm going to show you how to make that today. Now, first we're going to start out with a normal 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, and we're going to make 2 folds in it. One at 4 1/4 inches, and then one at 4.5 inches beyond that. Now you can stop the video anytime and get these measurements. How I'm doing this one, I'm just using my background file thing as a way to score it. If you don't have something like that, you can just go ahead and do like I did right there, really easy, or you can do it on a scoreboard. If you make a crease in it first, it just makes a little bit better of a line. Here's the paper that you're going to need for it. Once again, I suggest that you pause it when you're ready to make it, and you can get the pieces sizes appropriate. Basically, the rule of thumb I'm working on here is I have about an 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch size around each of these pieces. So you can see where these pieces will be going. We're going to be making pockets right here. These are the back parts, and that's the front part of the pocket. And then the last piece is the green paper right there. That's the pocket. The green paper is going to go on the back. So let's get going. You're going to first take your music paper or whatever paper that you choose, and you're going to glue it down. Now, whatever paper you choose, pick it up and see if that's the side that you want it on. Glue it up and then place it down. It doesn't need a ton of glue because it's just going to be the background piece. It's not going to have a lot of force placed upon it. So one of the things I could have done before gluing it down was distress the edges. I didn't do that on this, but I do it on the rest of my work. So now I'm going to be placing the outside of the pocket on here, and it just takes some simple glue. I do distress the edges here first. I remembered at this point, so all throughout this I'll do the distressing. So I also remember that I should distress the outside or the edges of my cardstock here. So I do the one side, flipping it around, and then I do flip it around to the other side, the back side of this, because when you do the distressing, it only really happens to the one side, and I want it to have the look on both sides. Maybe you're the same. So what we have here is a beautiful thing ready to go. Take your top sheet, just once again check, and you can see I have that 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch edge all the way around, so you see the paper. So you're going to be putting one line at the top, the bottom, and the middle. So I almost placed it in the wrong spot, but then I caught myself. The reason I don't put the paper of the music all the way down, because it's a waste. You're not going to see it all. So I just conserve my paper and do it that way. You can certainly place the paper all the way down to the bottom though if you choose to. So depending on what kind of glue you have, you may need to press your glue down more. The glue I'm using right here holds really well, but it does help if you put like clips or whatever along the side to make it work a little bit better. Now I do place the tea in the inside there to make sure I have a nice feel of nice room for the tea to go in, so I do recommend that. Next, while that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and ink up and place this on here and straight down. Now I actually had a different plan right there, and I didn't realize it until I got to the next part that I placed that little piece of paper down a little bit too soon. I'm doing the ribbon. Ideally that ribbon could have gone right underneath the paper I had just placed. So measuring it here, I make it for the flap, wrap it around a few times, and then I leave enough room for the beading to go on. So I'm going to glue this on right here. It glues on nicely, but ideally I could have done it right underneath this pink checked paper straight onto the cardstock. No biggie, because I'm going to just work with it, and I'll cover that up in a minute with a cool little embellishment piece. Putting on the front paper, gluing it. So I just glue it really quick here. I don't need to show you all the gluing parts, but just know each of these things. I'm gluing them up. I'm distressing them like this and then placing it on. And the last one is the green. Quick and easy. So right here, like I said, I'm going to put a little embellishment on to cover that up. That's just a little punch. Covers up nicely. Glue it on. And I go for a test drive. And now what I want to do, I want to put on a bead. I make a knot first, and I'm trying to decide what bead do I want to use. So I do a little audition, grab some beads, and I pick one out that I like. Move all the other beauties to the side, and I try to put it in, but I have a little hard time getting my thread, not my thread, my ribbon through it. So what I'm doing here, you know, like a shoelace, you have that little edge. So I'm putting some glue to make a stiff little part, and then I can pull it through nicely, knot it up. But then I'm going to still just cut off the edge that I have glued up. I don't need to keep that. So that I don't fray the edges, what I do put a little bit of glue on the edge just to make sure that that keeps nice. So to decorate the inside here, I'm going to put some of this paper lace. I put a little bit on each side, glue it, place it on. I think it looks nice there. Now what I want to do is make the tee for the inside. So this is just parchment paper. I make a little square, and then I sew along the edges right here. So you could use a zigzag, you can stamp on this, you can do whatever you want, but I think it just makes that tee look all the more special inside this little wallet. So each inside there, but then I want to add a little bit more embellishment. This is just a little scalloped punch. I go ahead and ink all the edges and then glue each of these pieces in. Now when you do something like this, you have to be careful because that glue could spread and get onto the back piece. So I'm really living dangerously here. Ideally, I would have put a piece of paper underneath each of those to make sure that the glue didn't spread out and get on the tea bag or whatever I have underneath there. A little extra piece of embellishment here. This is just eyelash yarn, but it just makes nice movement there. So underneath the bird, which I think is perfect, it just creates that flowy type of feel. Because it is bulky, something like that, you do need to press down a little bit more, give it a little bit more attention to make sure whatever's on the top does secure. So now I'm taking the eyelash. I could glue it on, but I decided to just cut pieces and tuck them behind the tee. I didn't even glue them on or anything. They're just kind of there, but they add a nice element. They make it just a little bit more special, a little bit more fun. And there you go. So now I'm working on the cover. I wanted to put this top layer on top of that. Now my paper didn't go all the way to the bottom, so I made it work out by putting a little piece of lace down there and making it look like, you know, it's meant to be like that all the way along. I actually like how it turned out. So I have that. And then I'm giving it a little wrap up to see what it looks like. And then what I want to do is just add one little more thing to it. So I think this ticket looks nice. It just adds a little bit of interest, and it kind of invites you to open it up, I think. So I'm going to put some glue, place it on there, and just kind of make sure I like how much is poking out and peeking out. That's good. Now the ticket doesn't have... It's not a double-sided ticket. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not a double-sided ticket. So I put another ticket on the back side so that it has that embellishment. What I do is I carry that look through over to the wallet, to the T side of the little portfolio wallet. And once again, I just put a little dab of glue in there to hold it. And each of these tickets, they're just half pieces that I ripped in half because I didn't need the full ticket there. Okay. Looking good. So now I'm going to fold it up, take a peek at the back side. I'm going to carry that same kind of look with the tickets over to the back. I just layer it up here. 3 little tags. Now I could have added one extra embellishment like the bird. I put the bird on the back of the little notebook that I made. Little lace there. I like how it looks. One more peek, and now I'm going to give it a test drive. This is how it's going to look when they receive it. Gonna look at it, see what it is. Undo the little ribbon, open it up, ideally a note right there, and then there's the tea. Perfect. I am really happy how it turned out. I hope you enjoyed it. Let's see what it looks like with the notebook. There we go. Beautiful. I hope you like this tutorial, and I hope you have fun making it yourself. There's some other ideas of things that you can make. I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.